G'day, g'day. How's everyone doing? I'm just booting up here. G'day. How's everyone doing? Yeah? Sussman86, what do you mean by that? How am I sus? I'm never sus. I am clean as anything. Yeah, it starts. It very much does start. So, welcome everyone that came by today. Cac Evan, welcome. X-Zilix, welcome. X-Lizik, sorry. Welcome, Scorpio Gaming. And, welcome, Eldon Larry. I don't think I've seen you around before, so welcome to the stream. Me, doing pretty well. Welcome, Magpie, to the stream today. It's a nice element car on the left. I don't know if it's hyper, but it does certainly look Le Mans. Let me just... Alright, cool. I'm back. Yeah, so, I hope everyone's enjoying themselves, had a good week. I just had a fairly decent weekend, I'm all happy, refreshed, and now I get greeted with these. One of which seems to be having a massive problem. But we will get to it eventually, don't worry. We'll see what's going on there, see if we can't figure out what they've done wrong. Finally, a face cam? So, I'm going to keep face cams just if I'm doing streams for this. Any other sort of stream, I'm probably just going to be a lot more casual, a lot more relaxed, so probably no face cams on those ones. I also just got out of the shower, which is why the stream's a little bit late and my hair's wet. So, yeah. Exam week that I hated. Sorry? Why are you sorry about hating? Anyway, I don't know why you're apologizing to that one, but yeah, exam weeks are a struggle. And I suppose it is that time of year, is it not? Yeah. I know here in Australia, for things like high school, they're kind of just wrapping up about now. But universities wrapped up probably a month ago, approximately. Welcome, Crownless, to the stream. Not going to you live? Are you... But this is live. Or are you saying that you have to go because you got exam week? Anyway, whilst I get a response on that, let's start having a look at the cars. I wonder what the car with the problem is. Definitely not the invisible one. Yeah, no, you can't see it yet. So, Oh, that one is still running. Hold on. Good, okay, now it's turned off. Okay. I have my downwards direction and start-stop engine bound as the same key. I should really fix that, so I have to, like, move the camera down to turn the engine off. It's annoying sometimes, and it was a bad decision when I did it, and I still haven't fixed it, probably, like, 7 months on. Also, yeah, this one is still having a major issue, but somebody resubmitted it, apparently works a lot better now, so let's tab over and put the handbrake at least on that one. Hasn't done a thing. Okay, let's just keep it out of view so then we don't get motion sick by it. A bit out of topic, but is the FiveM server up? Yes, it is. Let's have a quick squiz on that, and you can have a look. Starting up FiveM. There will be some content on FiveM coming out in the future. God, I love FiveM so much. So, you can see here that I've played it previously. Nobody's on it because it's not a particularly complex server. It's actually quite relaxed. But yeah, so... got everything. And then Philman86 comes up with Philman86 Project. Made by Philman86s for Philman86s. Basically. Invisible car, cool car. This one does look pretty cool. Though once again, it's with a an easier body to work with. But they have done some quite... oh, hey, okay, that wasn't the button I meant to press. Quite a lot of work to it. So you can see there is A lot of open air in here. The chassis isn't turned off. They have actually given this to me as a .zip. And I do want to thank everybody that submitted a car to this for giving them all to me as .zips today. Oh, that made my life so much easier. Just joined. I saw one of my cars. Brokenosser, I believe you have 2 of your cars in today's stream. But yeah, so there is a lot of extra detail on here. I'm not sure about this join here, though. Still, pretty cool. Then down the side here, you got lots of like, I'm not sure what you call them, like aero deflectors to get air to flow a certain way that you want it to flow. Lots of air control coming out of here. I like how it's nice and open. Though I do feel, though, that potentially, like, this entire bodywork would be cut away on a car like this, so then, like, it would drop directly down. I know somebody else is actually doing some work with this body at the moment, and they're taking a lot of time and care on that one, so I'm excited for that one as well. But I can't hold everyone to that standard. But yeah, so then you got here, nice, big, open, very aerated. No aero channeling through here, though, so it's just an open back end, which is going to cause peculiar aero characteristics, shall we say. Welcome, Gixa Amir. How's it going? I don't think I've seen you around here before, so welcome to the stream. Give me a second. Sorry about that. My health isn't 100%. I'm a little bit... I think I might have a smidgen bit of a cold. Not a flu, not the Rona, just a little bit of a cold. Me kiddo. What? Me said no understando. But yeah, so let's have a look at the rest of this. Oh, that was pretty fast. The rest of this car. So this is probably not LMH, because I don't think LMH is allowed to have a wing overhang of such a large size. So yeah, that would be a problem. Not to mention this rear diffuser is wider than the car, which is, 1, not going to be particularly effective, and 2, probably not allowed, since there's limitations on how wide cars and bits overhanging can be. Aside from that, they've got a pretty cool shark fin, though the shark fin doesn't meet up with the wing. It is a gooseneck, so it's a more modern wing, so that's good that they've done that. They've got a dual port fuel filler, so this one is meant for high-speed fuel filling. Then, yeah. I do like that they've put a lot of thought into the aero divide here, though there probably wouldn't be an inverted bowl like this. It would probably be more like coming in from the splitter like this. It would come in and then just go up to the main body, or just straight vertical, and then from there just kind of push it out sideways. So I like that they've thought about it. Just a small minor tweak is what I would make there. So yeah, a lot of attention to detail. They've put a lot of effort into this. I like it. Headlights look kind of cool. No interior by the looks of it. Hold on, let me double check that. What the heck? Okay. There's shapes in here. Yarby shapes. Wait, what's that? Oh, that's a part of the outside era sort of thing. All right, so pretty cool, pretty cool. Welcome, Chromatic Schnitzel. You're up pretty late. It's my second time here, haha. Wasn't the last time. Oh, okay. So you were here a couple of days ago on that stream, were you? Cool. Well, welcome back then. The tire is too big. Yeah, there is also tire size limitations. Let me get down and have a bit of a look here. The rear tire, sorry, is really wide. The front tire is really narrow. So that's leading me to think that maybe there's a bit of an aero imbalance. Because, yeah, that difference in size is pretty bad. Also, the fact that the front track is wider than the rear track is also probably going to cause a little bit of an issue. I don't know. I probably could do a little bit of testing on that. But as it stands, not the worst car in the world. I suppose we should have a look at brakes. I see 3 pistons. Okay, so at least it's not that bad, but the brake discs are not maxed out. So, probably not the greatest of race cars, unless they've got, like, really good brake tuning, which most people do. Yep, okay, there we go. Tiny 2-piston brakes. Yeah. Not sold entirely. I'll check the 5am server in a bit, then currently not trying to catch 3 streams at once. Okay. Yo, Phil, got that Christmas swag. Oh yeah, we're wearing the Christmas shirt again, obviously. As always, hold on. I suppose you all want to have a look at the gorgeousness. I've got on here like a koala, a Santa Claus, some gum trees with gum nuts. Got a gingerbread man, got a galah. No, that's a cockatoo. A Christmas pudding. What else is on here? Is that it? Yeah, I think I've got everything. Rather quickly, too. My hair's all flat and whatnot. I hate it. My hair looks terrible. I need a haircut. I really do. Yum fried breaks. Yeah, no, they're going to be freshly fried. Phil got Xmas strip. Oh, yeah, got that drip, bro. But we got double wishbone in the rear. Let me guess. Push rod in the front. I'm just going to go ahead and guess it. I mean, you'd be silly not to. Well, apparently they're silly because this is double wishbone. Okay, choices have been made. Sure. I suppose they wanted a little bit more wasted distribution to the front, is why that is like that. Then we've got a big honking V12. Very big. I wonder if it's all-wheel drive. I didn't check that. So we got drive to the rear. Doesn't look like we have front drive. Oh, interesting. So they've got the brakes all bung up, but it looks like this is like meant to fit in with some sort of regulation. Just uploaded my Malaysia Beauty. Welcome, Stentavo. I don't know what it is that you're referring to, or trying to say there. Malaise is, what, like, slow? And not particularly interesting? Isn't that what Malaise is? I don't know. It's been a while. I've got to go to sleep. I just wanted to say hi before bed night, guys. Alright, see you later, Chromatic Schnitzel. Enjoy your sleep. Welcome, Coconut Doctor. That name is a bit weird. Thought I would just let you know. Hi there, my guy. I were here last stream, but my name was before Pele Engdel. Don't remember it, I'm sorry. My car, 73 to 83 American cars. Okay. Yep, Wi-Fi going to have a bad connection. Oh, apparently somebody's having some bad internet problems. Not sold on the mirrored livery, but good effort. I'm a bit weird? Okay, then. Well, let's have a look. So, that's the right way around. The other side, good spot there. It is mirrored on a lot of it. It's the 14 car, though, so that, they've got around... No, that's around the wrong way as well. Okay. I suppose you... Yeah, okay, you saw it when we were on the hood. Damn, alright. That's unfortunate. It looks pretty cool, though. Still, the stuff is pretty nice. Though, unfortunately, for some reason, with these things, I'm not sure if they were meant to all come out black, but also they start to look really ugly when you zoom out. Like, now it looks just like a ugly mess, which is why, unfortunately, I didn't end up using this one in the thumbnail of this today's stream. Yeah, I just went with a different car, because unfortunately, yeah, when you zoom out of this thing, it doesn't look great. I'm having some bad brain problems. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh. That car have no doors. Yeah, it does. So the door line comes down here, cuts down here, the cuts over to there, then it kind of disappears because of bodywork that they put on. And then bodywork comes up here, cuts into there, cuts up to there, and then it's all the way around again. So that's that. Okay, that's loud. Okay, now we got the jiggly car. Let's go ahead and pause this for this one, because I hate the jiggliness. So apparently this one has been fixed, though. As we could see, it's not fixed. It moved on its own, the jiggliness is not gone, but apparently other things are fixed on it. So hopefully we can use it this time around. The F1 car is haunted. Only just a smidge. Just a bit. Just a bit. Oh, it's alive! Anyway, I would say bad plane problems since I'm the doctor of all coconuts. You are sounding a bit nutty. No, I'm joking. Anyway, so yeah, we saw this car last time. Still questionable choices have been made here on the design of these sorts of things. The underneath, still it's a flat board there, basically vertical. So this is a little bit more of what I was expecting from that one, except instead of it being leant forwards, it'd be vertical once it gets to a certain point, but also like it would have a center line and then it would kind of like sweep away as it goes towards the back of the car. Hope that didn't mess with my microphone just then. All good? All sound good? Good. Welcome, Flame Z. I believe there's a car of yours in here today. Dan Koopmans, welcome. You didn't say hello to me? Oh, I did. We just missed you a little bit. Don't know if my car made it this time. There is a big backlog. If you're relatively new, which, sorry, I don't recognize the name that well. Yeah, no, there is going to be a long waiting list. Wait a minute, do you have two microphones on your headset? There is this microphone, yes, but it sounds like hot garbage. And then I have this microphone, which is a Rode HS1, which goes in and then it gets phantom power from a audio device. Pretty good. The LMH car? Ah, okay. Well, we just went over your car. Well, we've already moved on to the next one. So yeah, this is pretty much exactly the same thing. It's, still glitching out, as you can see. Okay, it's turned off again. Even when it's turned off, you can see there is problems with this car. And I just don't think that this is savable. Until I can figure out what causes the jiggliness like this, which I'm trying to figure out for my own Sherp, when you have this problem, there's just no fixing it, unfortunately. Which is really unfortunate. Anyway, moving on, we have the Blatt, which is a Russian limousine sort of thing meant for the KGB. I believe this one... Actually, you know what? I don't remember who gave me this one. Ah, Crispy Shaman. So, yeah, Crispy Shaman was here earlier. No, he wasn't. Oh, well, I saw him on my Discord yesterday, so they're doing something. Jello F1, something like that, yeah. So, we've seen this car before. It's pretty much exactly the same thing. What do they say here about this car? Improved version with 20 more horsepower and 30 more torques. Yes, because power was probably the issue with this car. I don't really remember. I think it had, like, handling issues. But yeah, if you remember anything about this car, the interior is just really cool. Still, no legroom. Though, seems like a little bit more legroom than last time, but still, yeah, you're going to be struggling to be able to fit your feet in there. Problematic. And yeah, just really cool sort of design. For the KGB, there's like a listening sort of equipment here. This looks like a Wi-Fi router of some sort, of maybe it's some other sort of hacking device. Who knows? It's the KGB, or at least the Russian government, so they were encroaching on somebody's rights at some point. Welcome, SBR SXD. How's it going? Figure out the jiggling of your Top Fuel Dragster too. Yes, the Top Fuel Dragster as well. That one I wish I could fix. I actually spent a lot of time on that, and it still can't seem to fix it. Like, I removed pretty much everything. I don't know what it is. Disabled only back seat. Oh, okay, you mean amputee backseat, sure. I do like the sunroof, though I don't know if that would be in the KGB budget, would it? I don't think the KGB would splash for the sunroof extra. I think that would be seen as superfluous. Got some cool speakers back here for a great audio. Got some thing in here. Unless this is a delicate, sorry, not a delicate, a delegate's car, which it might be, and the KGB just drive the delegates around, then they might go for this sort of stuff. Yeah, kind of cool. Then in the front, the seat is flush with the floor, so kind of more your Japanese and some sort of Asian seating style, where you're like sitting on the ground basically. I wish you knew how to make interiors look good. Time and effort. That's it. Just lots of time, lots of effort. Going pretty cold here. Minus 19 Celsius. Wow, it was 19 degrees positive Celsius today. So it's actually a lot cooler than what you would expect for a summer day. Go make some hot drink? Sure. Where are you, Hand Doctor? Yeah. So, yeah, anyway, they haven't fixed dash gap, but I did happen to see a little itsy bitsy siren up front. Cool. Yeah. Fairly stocky looking car, very strong looking. Still not sold on the windshield wipers on the headlights. That was kind of a thing that went away in the 80s when it kind of just popped up for a short amount of time. And then people went, this is kind of pointless. Like, there's no real need for it. It's just, yeah, superfluous stuff. Then we got the big 16. My brain wasn't working very well, and I also didn't see this extra pipe. For a second there, I thought it was a V14. And I was like, what? That doesn't make sense. This is trippy to look at. But yeah, anyway, that's just the automation exporter being a bit jank. So yeah, pretty cool. What do you expect? Good car. But we've seen it before, so this time we're just going to be hoping that it's still a good car. Or better than the last time. I think it had understeer issues last time. I don't really remember. It's been months since I checked out the last version of this car. Those pedals are on the floor, though. Yeah, I know. Like, have you ever, like, stretched recently, and you have to sit flat on the floor, keep your legs straight, and then reach your toes? That's kind of what you're going to be doing a little bit in there, except for the fact that probably you don't have the leg room to really stretch out your legs properly. Cargo's Wii U? What, it sells badly? Mislabeled? Bad names? Those pedals are way too close to the ground. To the seat, I mean. Yep, fair enough. Though, are capitals really necessary? I don't know about that. How will anyone see the siren and won't be blind? Hold on. How will anyone see the siren and won't it blind the driver? Well, it is behind a panel, as you can see there. So, no, it won't. And will anybody else see it? Probably not. What it could be is the sort of thing where they just reach over, grab it, and then put it on the roof, which is a very sort of common thing from that sort of era if we go by movies and stuff. Though, then again, this is a modernized version of it, so I don't know what they were thinking. There's a TV blocking... Yep. Sunglasses are given with a car for that, I guess. Sure. I forgot caps lock. Sorry. Oh, caps lock. Sorry. Okay. I was considering yelling what you'd written, but then I thought, you know what? That would be a bit overboard. But yeah, then we got this. But don't worry. There's a mirror. There's a mirror, so don't worry. It's all good. Yes. It's meant to be like this. Not really. It's actually not meant to be like this at all. This is actually pretty bad. Carnoggin. Welcome, Carnoggin, back. How's it going? So, oh, you know what actually I didn't do? I didn't check the brakes, but I see pistons on the inside. And what looks to be a not maxed out brake disc. We have 3 piston. Oh, dear. I wonder if they're unbalanced brakes. Then we got 2... 4 piston in the rear, which probably doesn't need to be nearly that big, but they went with it anyway, and it's also not seemingly a maxed out piston, maxed out rotor. Welcome, Oliver. How's it going? Just joined, and what the hello? Oh, sorry. What the hell is this, Lamau? My brain no worky, no good. Apparently. Well, this is a car. That's a glitch. Also looks like the tires are flat, so we'll have a look. We'll see if there's any sort of like option selector sort of thing that they've got here. I don't know. Mirror all you need? Yeah, sure, okay, You're from Siberia? It does get cold in deserts, right, overnight? I believe? I don't know. It has 4 wheels and a mirror. Looks complete to me. Okay then, good on Crownless. Yeah, so, let's have a look at the rest of this car. We got multi-link rear suspension going into... Yeah, methinks there's something wrong here, because that brake piston setup should be at the edge of the disc, not at the middle. Peculiar. Very peculiar. I get the feeling that this one is either glitched out or they've got some selection options. And this one's just not in the right place. So yeah, that's odd. And 6 pistons. So this probably is not from somebody that's particularly overly skilled, unless they've done really great brake balancing, which most people don't. That, my friend, is a driving chassis. You mean a rolling chassis? Lightest car ever made? I don't know about that. Probably not. But let's move on to this one. I see no issues here. Though, then again, this is a gear down pulley. So you got this supercharger gearing down into this supercharger. Odd choices, very odd choices, but it is going directly into it, so at least, yeah, Surprised there's no air ram on top, though, because this thing is going to be sucking in a lot of air. And then we got in here a V8 twin turbo. I believe this one, though, is modified and you can turn on a supercharger or something. Not entirely sure. There is no desert, dude. Okay. Is there no desert in Siberia? Ah. Okay. I suppose I've been lied to by movies. Don't know what it is you're trying to say. Guys, I realized something. Most cars have windows and drive. But houses usually have windows. But houses usually don't drive, so the car won't be making... Sorry. So the windows can't be making the cars drive. Drugs are bad. Don't do drugs. Engine looks small? A little bit, yeah! Compared to the superchargers especially! Hey bro, how many superchargers do you have? Yes, okay, that sounds like a great idea. Though I don't know about like sequential superchargers like this. I don't think that works. Because this is not a variable pressure sort of setup. These are a constant volume. So no matter what the first one is going to suck in, is only going to be that exact amount of air going into the second one. So they've gone overboard. I'm not sure why. What is this? It's very weird. That's what it is. Replace the whole engine with a supercharger? Sounds about right to me. If you do it with a centrifugal supercharger, and you could probably turn it into a jet turbine, and that could power the car. But then it wouldn't be a charger. Actually, no, it would be a charger because the charger is itself. Well, technically, Siberia is a cold desert. I don't know. Welcome, Karen Rose. How's it going? I don't know why you've written FYI there. VOA? I don't know. You're confusing me. Then we have 3 piston brakes on the front. Probably don't need something quite so heavy. Sorry, quite so big. And then we've got double wishbone suspension. Fairly straightforward. Got the V8. We don't have front drive, so this is just a rear-wheel drive car. Coming out to the back, we have 3 pistons as well on double wishbone suspension. Odd choices have been made. As for the styling of it, it's a bit basic. Actually, you know what? It's a lot basic. That's unfortunate. Welcome, Lonnie R. Hodge Jr. How's it going? I think it's twin supercharger setup. No, it's twin sequential supercharger setup. And so is Antarctica. Yeah, Antarctica is meant to be a desert, isn't it? Is he trying to inflate the block? Something like that. Let's move around. Yeah, so we got twin superchargers, but they're sequential. So one into the next, one into the next. So I don't think that particularly works. Yeah, we'll move on from this. Aha, I saw Turbo Snail superchargers and turbos on Russian VW Golf. Also, the headlights are very weird. There's also no... Yeah, there's no cooling in. Or anything in. Yeah, very basic design. So it leads me to question as to why there's an interior. The odd choices. Very odd choices have been made. Then in the back here, what the hell? I believe that's meant to be an electric motor where they've accidentally forgotten to color one of the bits. I know that Twin Turbos had a similar issue. But yeah, that's a choice, I suppose. Is that good on a VW? I don't know what it is you're trying to say. Go to the hospital, Coconut Jr. This thing is twin-charged, but with 4 superchargers, Lancia Maxima. No, it's twin sequential charged. Then in here, there's some sort of like joining block. Weird, anyway. So this is sequential. One into the next. That's how that works, but it wouldn't actually do anything. Engine cooling go brr? Sure, okay. Eldon Larry, don't mind if I do. What? Welcome, DC. How's it going? Looks like a dumbbell. Looks like a dumb something or other. No wipers. Oh, no, that's it. All the points gone. Also, they turn the windshield transparency all the way down. You cannot see any windows there because I do not believe that they exist. It's a very weird looking vehicle, no understanding of how vehicles should look. Yeah, by the looks of it, twin charge hybrid, twin charged means turbo plus supercharger. That's not what twin charged always means. It depends. You can actually have twin superchargers. Anyway, yeah, so odd choices. Also, hold the phone. Those rear tires are thonk, and then the front tires are really narrow. So maybe this is meant to be a drag car. So you would expect it to not have cooling then, and just to die really super duper quick. Though they do have an intercooler. Okay, sure. Natural air conditioning? Okay. Brokenosa, this is a beefy twin charger setup. Sure, okay. Then we got this car. Let's have a look at what we got in the running gear of this one. 2-piston, 4-piston. Oh my god, why? Anyway, 4 pistons on, not maxed out size, rotors into a McPherson strut on the front. That's an odd choice on a supercar looking car. Then we don't have all drive. Okay. Onto the rear we have 2-piston. A misunderstanding of how brake biases should be then. Is that also a McPherson strut? Yeah. Sure. Okay. That's a choice. It looks like also an aluminium chassis. Is that I believe that's glued aluminium chassis. Pretty cool. Then we got 3, 4, 5, 6. V12. Naturally aspirated. So a pretty cool looking engine. The exterior is unfortunately basic, but not bad looking. So let's also have a look. That's an odd choice for a door handle on a supercar. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Let's have a look at the wheel size. The front wheels are tires are very thick. So maybe this thing has a lot of downforce to help compensate for that. Here's for hoping. I see on the front though, we have... This might be a real wing or it might not be. I don't actually know. Then onto the rear we have... That is a real wing, okay. Then this down here is a fake wing and doesn't actually add downforce. So I don't know how this car is going to handle. Though judging by the brakes, I'm a little bit skeptical. Yeah. I don't know. From this angle though, it looks pretty good. And I think they didn't mean it to look like a Ferrari and it did end up looking like one. Looks like a drunk hobo from one of the Cars movies. What, that one? The red one? I mean, I could see that. Beef! Yes, I agree. I hope the car can drift. This one? Okay. Drifting a rear or mid-engine car is very hard. JBing modding the engine to make 7,500 horsepower seems to give a little bit of torque steer. Not that noticeable and only slight total wrecks. Fair enough there, DC. Did you watch my video of my stream from a couple of days ago on creating an 11,000 horsepower drag car? Yeah, that had a little bit of torque steer. Fun Splitter is a real wing. Ah, is Crownless the one that made it? Okay. Control T fill? Okay, fine. We'll tab over to it. Control T. Alright, let's have a look. So, that's actually a sizable wing, though still quite narrow, so it's not going to be adding a lot of downforce. Have they hidden any other wings in here? No. Let's move over to the front. And no wings hidden inside, but that is a wing plane. And actually, a very large one. So this car is going to oversteer like heck. Like, that is going to oversteer way too much, because those front wide tires would mean that this thing would need a lot of rear downforce compared to the front, especially if you've got a heavy V12. So this car, I'm sorry to say whoever made it, I don't have high hopes, and I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out garbage. Nope, that's not your car? Oh, okay then. Okay, yellow car can't drift. It sure will drift, but it'll probably quickly turn from a drift into a spin. Yes, I've been making my own drag car, and it's nearly drivable. Alright, sure. That sounds like fun. We have now this little fella, and I saw this one and I thought, I think that's the best looking one of the bunch so far, apart from this SUV, so I put it in the thumbnail. But yeah, I like this car body, so maybe I'm just a little bit biased towards it. I like that they've got like a custom extra front bumper on here, looks pretty good. I like it a lot. Let's move down. Front tires are wider, so yeah, it's got front drive. We have McPherson struts on the front with minuscule 2-piston brakes. Why? You've got a cheap old hatchback. Why would you have more than one piston? I don't understand. I'm interested in seeing them drive. We will get around to driving them in a bit. I noticed that the wing plane is higher than it would be with a rear wing, so that's probably an invisible wing. Very possibly. I dig this car a lot, not the wheels though. Let's have a look. Oh, a rear wing. Yeah, okay, I understand what you were trying to say there, Flamesy. I thought it was a bit weird that you said that. Did you gonna drive all that car? Huh? How long is this song? God damn. It's been on this song for yonks. It's a 17-minute song. I'm just going to skip to the next one. It's a little too long for my liking. Cool. Okay, not sure if this is going to discount Yugo or a upcharged Yugo. Odd choice if you would want to buy an uprated version that has bum-ass brakes on it. Butyley K-Car? Welcome, Ciao Caesar, how's it going? And welcome, Agnosion, how's it going? I think he is asking if you're going to drive all the cars. I'm pretty sure that that's what they were going to ask. And yes, we do get around to that, eventually. One of my favorite songs is 1 hour and 18 minutes long, lol. I like me a long epic. Sure. But these are a little, like, samey. Like, this one sounds exactly the same as the last one. And it doesn't really have a lot of variance in it. Did you gonna try to drive all that car? Yes, Bray. Yeah. I'm assuming they're not a native English speaker, but that's fine. I get it. I'm also dyslexic, so I can't also discount like somebody just having a brain fart like I usually do and just not know how to use words in English and stuff. Then we have drum brakes on the rear. Oh, okay. With a, this isn't torsion, is it? No, this is, no, it is. This is torsion beam, I believe. Yeah, so really interesting. They've gone cheap on the rear with very small drums, by the way. So yeah, no rear drive, so that's pretty cool. One of the big advantages to using this in the real world is this sort of suspension is great for hatchbacks. So you can fit a lot of stuff in the back. So at least they've got that right. The rest of it's a little bit questionable. Also the height of the seat. If anybody was been lurking around on my Discord a lot, you'll see that we had a big talk about heights of seats and whatnot. And usually, like, the shoulder line of a seat will be just above the window line. So, yeah. This one is a very high back. Why is the floor so high? Oh, they wanted to cover up that, but it looks so weird. They would have done better to just work with it as opposed to do what they did here. So, can't say I'm sold on this design. Though pretty cool. They've got an interior, though they haven't done the colors, so that's come out unfortunate. They didn't, cover up this. So they've just got, still bare chassis showing. They have put a lot of effort into the interior, though. Unfortunately, they didn't do the colors. But I suppose maybe they just don't have the ability to test these cars. Then there is a little bit of dash gap, but you can see that they tried to fill it in. But they also did it a hard way. They got so close. If only they extended these out, this would have fit in here so much better. But as it stands, it's not that bad, actually. I do like the design, even if it is a bit weird, is the word I would use. Some questionable choices have been made. I love the rear taillights, even though they're incredibly basic, they just look the part. I think, kind of. Maybe there's not this triangle here. I don't know, do something with that. Welcome, TJW1. Sorry, TJW. One song I recommend listening to is Lazy Eyes Silver Spun Pickups. I have free music playing at the moment that I'm allowed to have. It's from YouTube's audio library, so that's what I'm listening to at the moment. I feel I could get under 5 seconds in the quarter mile if I could actually control my drag car. My record time trial is 5.2. All-wheel drive helps. Also, lightness. Lightness helps a lot. Not everybody has the same access to language instructions that you do. Oh, you don't have to be mean. Don't worry. They probably just didn't realize. It's with practicing you learn language better. Yeah, sure. Welcome, Corn Dog. Sorry, there's just a lot of chat happening right now. I just threw the chassis in the bin and create custom cockpit, but it's a bit more effort. I understand. I do the same quite often as well, especially if I'm doing supercars. I'll just throw away the interior, because the interior just doesn't work right. Like a massive tunnel like that, let me show you the tunnel which I speak of. Like this sort of big massive tunnel for a front wheel drive just doesn't make sense. It'd probably have a little small tunnel just for the exhaust to go through. But a lot of cars are actually doing away with it now that they're going EV. So, you don't need it. It doesn't need to be there. It's a fantastic song for driving. I'll have to try to remember it, but probably send it in the Discord anyway, because I'll probably forget it. It's all-wheel drive, but 65% rear bias. Should I make it more balanced? Depends if you're getting wheel spin or not. And about 1,200 kilos. You could probably stand to lose some weight if you tried. What's my favorite V engine? V10? I don't know. I'm more of a 4-cylinder fan. Just straight 4s. Inline 4s and 6s. They're my jazz, bro. So, yeah. Interesting car. Some peculiar choices. But let's move on to the next one. So I'm not an SUV fan in real life. But I think this one looks fairly cool. Me like it a lot. I like the fact that they've got kind of an exhaust thing coming out here. Is that meant to be the exhaust? I'm not sure. Oh, there's only one exhaust. Ah, and it comes out this side, and then the other side is blocked off. Oh, I love the attention to detail. Well done. Whoever it was that made this car. Sorry, I don't have the names in my memory right now. We do have a narrower front tire, do we not? No? No, okay, they're symmetrical. Good, okay. Gasket Gaze! How's it going, bro? Hey, mate, you having a good day? Yeah. I mean, it's winding down. It's getting close to the end of the day for me, but still, yeah, having a lot of fun. Chrysler 400C cubic inch, of course. Oh, you mean specifically which engine entirely that is in a V orientation? Then probably a Ferrari V8 of some sort, flat plane. Welcome, Zake Roblox. How's it going? Brokenosa, this is me who hates SUVs building an SUV that I would like. Hold on. This is me who hates SUVs building an SUV that I would... I'm so confused as to what it is you're trying to say. You are in luck, Phil, because I'm going to submit my V10 drag car. Oh, pretty cool. Okay. I'll enjoy. Suspension is not very perfect. You mean on this car or on the last car? Huh? Anyway, this is rear drive on this one, if that's kind of what you're getting at. I pop wheelies sometimes because of the immense power. Cool. The problem it has... Sorry. The problem it is every car in automation have this tunnel this difficult with some projects. It's okay to take a little bit more time to write out proper grammar if it's at all possible. I understand that not everyone speaks English natively. You may need more weight on the front to counter the wheel lift. Depends how you want to do it for those sorts of cars. I hate SUVs, so I build this car to make something I would find appealing. Ah, okay, now I understand. Anyway, so we got brakes over here. One piston, though not the biggest disc. So I'm worried a little bit that this thing might cook a little bit. But it is only the rear brake, so I'm not too concerned. Let's bring it over to the front now, and on the front we have all-wheel drive into two piston. Okay, probably should have gone one piston, made it bigger, made the rear pistons bigger, and then balanced it to the front instead. That probably would have done you a much better justice than this. This is probably going to struggle and probably cook, but then again, a lot of cars that are road cars will cook rather quickly anyway, but I don't know, I would chalk that down as like, not as fun to drive because we are playing a game, but I would give it points for realism. So, we shall see how the car does. Because if it does cook, but cook evenly or anything like that, then yeah, it'll be pretty realistic. We have double wishbone on the front, and then we have an inline 4-cylinder, naturally aspirated with a race exhaust. So this thing is going to be not a cheap car to have. They'll probably charge a lot for this thing. But yeah, so on the outside, not too bad. And on the inside, odd. Very odd. I'm working on a 2,000 horsepower foot-pound drag car. It's so front-heavy that it doesn't pop wheelies. You can watch my old stream that I did a couple of days ago. That one goes into that a little bit. It's massive V12 on the front. Okay. I think if I modded the tires for more grip, I could pull a wheelie off. That is true. If you have the torque to push it, though. The issue remains you're still lifting the front wheels. As long as you aren't damaging the front end, it'll be fine. Now just people are talking about their own cars. Okay. How do you make a 200 plus horsepower car make plays? What? 200 horsepower is easy. You can do that easily with a 4-cylinder. I mean, in the year, what, 2000 or whatever, the Honda S2000, maybe it was 2001, the Honda S2000 naturally aspirated out of a 2-liter made more than 200 horsepower. It's not the hardest thing to do. But also, welcome Adra the boy. How's it going? Oh, I should say welcome back. And it flips over? Oh, okay. Anyway, so yeah, let's have a little bit more of a look at this car. It's fairly kind of basic. It looks a little bit, from some angles, a bit like a Ford Territory. Let's have a quick look. Ford territory. Images. Ford territory. Yes, okay. From some angles, it looks a little bit like this one, crossed with the newer version. Like this one with a little bit of a vent in there. But not exactly. But yeah, I think the design is fairly cool. It's not overly two-dimensional. Got some cool headlight sort of designs going on there. Lots of headlight though. Lots and lots of lights in there I can see. And then even little weird spotty ones here. But I'm not sure about them poking out so far. Odd choice. Crossover SUV, it is all-wheel drive. So, I don't know. They're all, yeah. Also, I don't know exactly what a crossover is by definition. Because I just don't particularly care for these sorts of vehicles. Looks like the Volkswagen Tiguan. Yeah, it does a little bit. I'll just take your word for that one. Anyway, let's have a look at the interior. You guys are just talking about your own things amongst yourselves. We got the old data dash, which is unfortunate that there's not much newer dashes than that. They have fixed the dash gap, though. Ooh, good work, good work. They, though, however, did not fix the dash color issue. So, points deducted for that one. We do have an automatic. Okay, probably not a dual clutch and a four-cylinder car SUV. They're probably trying to keep the price down. We do have a really big-looking what do you call it? Brain, please work for me. Sunroof. Yeah, and also they've got a roof liner in here to stop you from like seeing the base color. I do like the attention to detail there. Hold on. I've never looked before, but I didn't realize that the headrest, like, had its stakes poke up so far. Alright, that's cool information to have. They do have almost proper legroom. Unfortunately, the steering wheel is a little bit low and a little bit far away, but it still is actually in a serviceable position. A lot of these ones will have, in real life, adjustable steering wheels, and they could just move the seat forward if they wanted, though the seat looks in a fairly comfortable position, so I don't know. Not what I was going for design-wise, I was just going for a Ford Explorer with a bit of Hyundai. Oh, okay. Crossovers are unibody SUVs according to Wikipedia. Odd, but okay. A crossover is kind of like a hatchback, but also SUV combined, and yes, it's weird Lamau. Oh, IMO, sorry. Okay. Welcome, Space Warrior, you've been here for a while. Why are you saying welcome, everyone? Anyway. Fun fact about me, I absolutely don't understand the whole chat, and yes, I'm not interested in automotive, but I watch automotive content. Yes, I'm weird, or maybe not. That is a bit weird. Whether it's a common sort of weird is a different question. But I've not really known many people that aren't into automotive stuff that watch automotive videos and streams. Very odd. To me, at least. You see F1, you see glitch. We'll get to that later. Oh, you just joined? Okay then, Space Warrior. Welcome, Space Warrior! Maybe it was somebody else and my brain just mixed you up. Thanks for the insight. On what? My brain don't work so good. Anyway, rear seats, pretty good. Got a rear parcel shelf. Lots of effort put into there. It's not just basic. Nothing actually in here, so that's unfortunate. What about legroom? Let's get picky here. Oh, that is not great legroom. What you could have done... no, the seats are kind of back as far as they could go. I don't know, you kind of SOL there. Yeah, I do like it. They got roof racks, pretty nice. I like a lot. Hold on. The sunroof is see-throughable here. But the sunroof is not see-throughable here. Okay, BeamNG, please. I like it. We shall try that out later. Happy for him. What? Thoughts on Verstappen championship win? I don't know. I haven't actually... Like, since I stopped doing the F1 builds, I kind of just, like, burnt out on F1 altogether. I just haven't even watched the highlights. So I don't watch F1's races live, because they're too boring for me. And I don't really care much for the, what is it? Frick. Netflix's, video, like a video series that they do. Because it all dramatizes it way more than what it is. It feels fake. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Is the subcompact your kids will have to deal with crushed legs? Sure, okay. Looks like a Dacia Duster. Not sure which one that is. House and car. Don't understand what you mean. Final lap was the last bit of the racing I've ever seen. Oh, best bit of racing you've ever seen. Okay, then. Dude, you need to hydrate. Me? Oh, I'm doing fairly well. You need to be in full man Discord server to send a car to Tesla Stream. Did somebody ask how to submit a car? If anybody wants to know how to submit a car, there's a description that explains it. Like, read the description. Talking to Adra? How out of car? Oh, okay then. I just kind of dismissed that one because I didn't understand it at all. And I didn't want to make fun of them at all. Drive to Survive? Yeah, that's the one. Anyway, so here we have... This is meant to be actually a British car. That's what they said. But it's clearly based on a Nissan, like, 240Z or Fairlady or whatever you want to call it. In the front, we have a big honking V8 pushrod engine. Twin 4-barrel carburetors. Yeah, lots of power probably coming out of an engine like this. Though it's actually not big. It's actually moderately sized. It looks small, but that's because of the way in which automation places engines and whatnot. We have... is that 2-piston or 4-piston? Good, at least there's only 2-piston, but the brake discs are small, so these are probably going to cook on double wishbones. No front drive, so that's good. They're not cheating and just going, well, all-wheel drive is better, so I put all-wheel drive on my car, even though cars wouldn't have it back then. Yeah, I find it lazy when people do that. Then on the rear, we have, oh my god, minuscule 1-piston brakes. So I get the feeling what happened is they changed the balance to the rear because 2 pistons was too much. But then they had to downsize the size of the rear brakes. So I don't get the feeling has happened here. So that's unfortunate. I wouldn't have done it that way myself. If these brakes don't cook, I will be very much surprised. Especially since a car of this age probably won't have ABS either. Do like the rear bumpers. Oh, okay. The back end looks pretty cool. Very Lancia Stratos sort of looking. I like. Also, it doesn't have the swooped back that you would see in a 240Z, so it's not entirely based on a 240Z. I like it. Let's move into the interior. Good, we got the headrestless seat style, even though the seats do still look a little bit new. We have a manual with some, like, handmade sort of switch style gauge sort of thing. That's pretty cool. They got all the colors working. They have... Okay, well, why is this song playing? Is this the song? What's happening? Skip ahead. Nope. Okay, let's skip that one. We'll skip that one as well. Skip that one. Skip that one. Play this one. Yeah, right. This song will do. TVR Nissan, a little bit. We're going to get the legendary twerk? Hell no! Its error is 8 GB. What? I don't understand what I'm trying to say there. Some like a Datsun 240Z. It's kind of like a Lotus Elan. I could see a little bit of Lotus Elan in there, but not really. Upload it to Google Drive. Adra. Is Adra asking more questions? Oh. Wait, you're trying to upload an 8 GB file? Don't do that. Just pick a car from BeamNG, get the .zip. Upload my mod car and its R8 body. Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is a cool car. It's got some cool little vents on there. The interior is well done. I do like the rear end on this thing. It's not just very basic. They've put a little bit of effort into here to like get the right colors, the right sizes of things. They've got the badging on here. Does the badging touch? No, the badging is hovering. Oh, points off. It's not so bad though. It's not the worst thing in the world. I do like that they've got cursive there. That's pretty cool. I like. God, I think I'm actually coming down with a cold. I'm feeling a little bit worse compared to the beginning of the stream. If your zip is 8 gigabytes, then there's something weird in it? Yeah, I know, right? Then we got this car. It was meant to be an electric one, though they did something wrong and it still has engine noises, even if the engine noises are particularly weird. Very weird, indeed. 8 megabytes? If it was 8 megabytes, it would be too small. I want to see my car in there, but sadly, I have to wait a bit longer. I don't know. Sure, probably. Oh, they've got like full custom suspension in here. Ah, nice. I wonder if it's fully animated or not. Let's turn off. Well, a few of the cars turned on. Let's try. Nope, the suspension is not animated. That's unfortunate. Though doing like an animated suspension for this would be a little bit tricky. But it is possible. I do like it though, it's pretty cool. They got one piston on the front with a fairly large rotor on double wishbone suspension. Got a full tubular chassis made completely custom. Got twin electric motors in here. That's... Is that meant to be like a uni joint to switch over to down there? Or is that meant to be an exhaust? Let's have a look. No, it goes into the drive shaft. That is not an amazing setup. What I personally would have done if you were trying to do this is angle the drive shaft up a little bit. Oh, you know what? Actually, no. I would just do away with the rear suspension and just put in 2 motor hubs going out, or potentially just have the drive shaft in line, because that is too sharp for a CV shaft. That is going to buckle and bind, and it's not going to work forever. It's going to be incredibly horrible. I think Google Drive is a good option. I think my PC crashed again. Did they forget to remove the default suspension, or am I seeing things? They could have removed the default suspension if they wanted to. I just think that they maybe didn't know how to. I don't know. I put electric motor sounds for this one. That's why the engine sounds weird. But it still sounds like a weird petrol motor. There is ways of making electric sounds, and I'll probably make a video on that this week, on just like easy ways to do sounds for automation cars. Full tubular chassis, me likey. There is a lot of attention to detail here, so I agree. Me likey a lot of this as well. Though, not sure about like the seats maybe should be a little bit higher, so then your butt isn't at the same level as your feet, without being reclined a lot, kind of like the bathtub style of Formula 1 cars. So, yeah, lots of cool stuff. I'm not sold also on the rear seats being faced outwards like that, because you then have no protection for your legs. You're going to be wanting to go slowly. Otherwise, any sort of like weed or whatever that comes by here is going to whack your legs, and they are going to be red very quickly. So maybe keep this one on bitumen only. Which then it should be golf cart, and maybe then just put the seats rearward facing, like a real golf cart. Other than that, cool, they've got colors in here, they've got dash things. No gearbox, so you don't need a shifter of any kind, that's pretty cool. They didn't put colors on here, so that's all come out monochromatic, unfortunately, as well. Is there actually a windshield here or not? There's a little bit of a windshield here, but not up here. So, okay. Interesting choices afoot. Actually, I do need a drink. I'm going to go get some water. I'll be back in a minute. Ah, that's better. Okay. Drive soft vibration inbound? Yeah, you would have that until just straight up binding. It just would struggle to move at all. That chassis is totally tubular. Hey, it's tubular, bro, tubular. Valley Girl reference? I don't know Valley Girl. I know it was a TV show, but never watched it. And that's also a very old reference, is it not? Like, Valley Girl? I think the dash is clipping through the windshield. Oh yeah, you're right, it is too. Whoops! That was a mistake. Told you that you needed to hydrate? Sure, okay. Why error might be 8 gigabytes? Okay. I think... Arda? Sorry, the boy... Go ask in Discord. You'll probably get a lot better help over there as opposed to in the chat for a live stream. And they'll get back to you eventually. But yeah, so these are today's cars. We all excited? Suppose we'll just start off with this one. So let's bring it to... That one looks like it would be very good on Spa. Because it looks like a hypercar. So let's go have a look. Free roam. Spa Frankenchops is disabled, so let's go to mods and turn Spa back on. That was Spaz I wrote. KS Spa. And then we just wait for it to load up the code. Okay, because that was taking a bit long. There we go. KS Spa. Now, this car is made by... I don't actually know. One of these talks about a thing, right? Ah, I believe there's this one by Flareon, right? This is yours, Flame Z? I thought I fixed the clipping. Whoops. Ah, okay then. So yeah, you know about the issue then. Who is also making a car right now? Me! Oh. No, I'm not. I'm making this stream. Let's make this a little bit more zoomed in so people can see the details a little bit more. So we have no year. We have no price on this. We're just going basically on what they say here. So this is an Aston Martin Valkyrie as an LMH car with a 3.8-litre V12 creating 670 horsepower. That's a lot of horsepower. I'm assuming that this thing is supercharged. Just move over. F7, bring that up. Bring in the car. Okay. Is it turbocharged? Yes, it is. That's how it's making so much power. Let's try it with traction control on first, because this is just rear drive, I believe, and not all-wheel drive. God damn it, I forgot that the camera does this now if you press that button. Okay, there we go. Let's go. Scraping! Awesome! Unfortunately, yep, no. Wait, is it... Yeah, no, the scraping is coming from the rear wing. So, they apparently didn't test this enough or don't know enough about what I tell everybody about cars all the time. Yeah, the front's also going to scrape after a short amount of time. That the scraping can be fixed, you just have to do fake wings and stuff. Wish I could make a car right now, but my PC can crash when using Firefox. Oh dear. Hold on, give me a second. I think I spilt on myself. Yep. Alright, now there's going to be a spill on my shirt for the rest of the stream. That's awesome. Let's give it a try. Without traction control on. Because traction control is slowing this down too much. What's happening? Ah, there we go, okay. Traction control off. We're going to turn off some of the UI apps that we put on here during last time's stream. Okay, good. Let's go. Still, lots of turbo lag. Oh, understeer, okay. Then oversteer on the exit. But actually controllable. Lots of scraping! Lots and lots of scraping. But... Control! No, okay, high-speed understeer. That wing just went goodbye. I don't even know where that one went. Oh, dear. Is it me, or is the wing aerodynamics a little bit better there? Like, It should just flip off and then, like, crash to the ground. But previously, they almost used to fly away just indefinitely. It's a little bit hard to control. Still lots and lots of scraping. How's the volume set, by the way? Try to brake by the braking point, and braking is not particularly great. I'm getting a little bit of frame lag on braking, which is unfortunate. That mess is back by BeamNG. Slow down, bring it around. I just want to go until the brakes cook. Oh god. This thing becomes really skittish on corner exit. So they not only have, like, oversteer issues, but they also have understeer issues. I think it might have to do with, like, a really bad weight distribution. And then, almost snap oversteer, but we're doing okay, good, okay. We saved it and we brought it back. Then slow it down for Puon. Okay, actually the brakes aren't cooking. We don't actually even have to brake particularly hard. Pretty good. The brakes are already down to like 150 degrees. So they've got brake cooling turned up quite a bit. Oh, no, now they're cooked a little bit. This scraping is incessant. Filler's all wet? Oh yeah, you guys make me wet. Wait, no, that was the water that made me wet. Sorry, my bad. Water makes me wet. So, yeah. I would be concerned over a long race period, race time in real life about the rapid temperature change of these brakes. Also, the rear brakes are not losing temperature quite like the fronts are. And then we had a crash. So the car is unstable, unfortunately, whilst also having understeer, which is a very weird combination. Oh, you guys won't be hearing the music at all. Let's turn it up a bit. This car was very loud. Spillman 86? Okay. Sadly, I have never... Oh, I have neither the game... I have neither game yet. My brain doesn't work, apparently. I have rear vehicle repairs to get done first. Yep, so do I. But I bought these games a while ago, so I don't mind. Currently infiltrating Phil's 5M server. Ah, yeah, cool. Phil is all wet. The scraping really hurts the traction. I'm assuming a little bit, yeah. Is water wet? If your definition of wet is it's coated in water, then every water molecule is wet because it's got water around it. Except if it's evaporated, then I would consider it not wet. Water is dry, water is not dry. Understandable? What is? Anyway, let's go ahead and pick the next... Oh, so I suppose I should give this a score. On the design front, if we look at it a little bit closer, because if you zoom out, these stickers become really ugly. So looking closer, it looks fairly good. They've done a lot of attention to detail here. They've got lots of good airflow in to airflow out, all that sort of stuff, though the airflow out isn't quite as much as the airflow in. You would probably want some sort of, like, big hood ventilation to get that huge amount of air to come out. Aside from that, pretty good. There's a weight distribution causing handling issue. I know the problem all too well. The weight distribution is 340 on one side on the rear to 212 on the front. So it's got a lot of weight distribution issues here. The reason why you have a mid-engine car is so then you can have a closer to 50-50 weight distribution setup. Though unfortunately with automation as it currently is, you can't really change the location of the engine. So if you don't create exactly what you can fit in the car, sometimes it causes this weight distribution issue. Give me a second. My car doesn't have enough traction control and ABS. In real life? Oh, okay. Mine doesn't have traction control, but it has ABS, and ABS is good in real life, if implemented correctly, obviously. I had a 1989 Volvo that had ABS. That was pretty cool. It's a 1959 LM car, lol. Oh, your car? Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. I'm assuming in 1959, then, you've got cross splies on it. That would be what you would have on a 1959 LM car. Though, LM, like, you're just using the term of the racetrack and not the race series at that time. Because LM is now not just a racetrack, but a race series. The rear is a little bit basic on the taillights, but I still do like it. The realism is not particularly great with the brakes. That's kind of failed a little bit. The driving experience is not particularly great either. It's a bit unpredictable to drive. A little bit skittish, all that kind of stuff. And then just the scraping and everything is just horrible. I hate it. The scraping is so bad. Phil, look straight through the front grille. Okay. I know it's a mess. They've got the chassis in there and everything. I get it. So, I know about this one. Are you talking about the aero diffusion here? Are you saying that the air goes all the way down the side here if the chassis was removed properly and then out the back? If so, then that's really awesome. Yes, I have cross-ply tires on it and they are terrible. Yep, that sounds about right. I'm really waiting on 4.2 to be available to move on... to move the engine to fix the weight distro on cars like these. Yes, I agree. If it actually affects BeamNG, which apparently it does, but I am not holding my breath. Back then, isn't the race series called World Sports Car Championship? I don't think in that time that there would have actually been a name for it. It would have been just there was a race at Le Mans. And it probably would have just been like an open series. I have like 6 cars just waiting to be tweaked. I think you mean 6 cars just waiting to be twerked. Hey! Damn it, wrong one. Damn it, wrong one. There we go. Yeah, 6 cars waiting to be twerked, yeah? 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 I'm sorry, whoever, Flimsy. Yes, the air goes all the way through the car, but you didn't turn the chassis off, so that I couldn't be able to tell properly. Because if you have a look here... straight up chassis bar in the way. So, yeah. Anyway, next car, Control E. We have, okay, the AF13. So, somebody submitted this and said that they fixed it. Though, seemingly they haven't, because it still jiggles. Where is it? Here we go. It's also by you, Flareon, and you just wrote, I fixed it. Okay. I think you said that you got permission to repost this, but as you can see, it still jiggles quite a bit. And I think I hear scraping. It's understeering already, and we're going really slow. Let's have a quick pause. Doesn't look like we have front drive, so that's good. Let's give it a try. Downforce seems fairly good. There is no scraping, so that's good. We're getting high-speed understeer, though. Yeah, lots of understeer. Oh my god, so much understeer. Okay! That was a lot of high-speed understeer. Something breaks immediately, though, when you spawn the car in. And go straight into jiggling. The rear seems a little bit bouncy, so maybe more shock absorber as well. This is a very loud car! Slowing it down into bus stop. Lockups. Ahoy! Oh, this is not... Why is there so much understeer? It is actually scraping. I do see scraping happening. Other things are scraping on each other. It's not actually scraping on the ground. But the front end steering is horrible on this thing. Also, is that... I think you've got positive camber on the front. Odd. I don't know why you would have positive camber on the front. That would just hurt handling. Which, as I could tell, this thing is really bad at handling. This car is terrible. 1 out of 10. Your improvement is only a slight improvement, but the car is still pretty darn bad. Let's move on to the next one. We got the KGB car. I hate the sound of this car. Let's mute that. So KGB car, where would we take that? We want a communist country. So maybe industrial site? Because I think that's meant to be communist. Though I'm not entirely sure. So let's just start here. I forgot to turn the chassis off. Yeah, I assumed as much. But, oh well. Blame that on the original creator. I couldn't fully fix it because the fact that were mods that I don't have. Oh, okay. What you could have done then is not said you'd fixed it. Because you said you fixed it. And it wasn't fixed. It was just improved upon. But still very much broken. So no error shooting? Yeah, unfortunate. Anyway, let's go ahead and bring out the KGB car. And we're going to take this one around the racetrack as well on this one. There's a lot of red glow on this thing. Like, too much red glow. And this one is by Crispy Shaman. What was that thing again? Okay. The Blyat KGB sedan Russian secret agents. It's going to be a little bit telling. If anybody's driving around in this car, they're going to be like, is that the secret agent's car? It's in the name of the car. So it's probably going to give it away a little bit. You probably want to tweak that name just a smidge. The improved version with 20 more horsepower and 30 more torque. Sure, I don't know how much price it is, or how much it costs. What the price is was the two things I was trying to say just then. Or what year it is, but I'm assuming modern. Okay, well, I also didn't put the handbrake on, apparently. Also, I found there were node problems. Yeah, I found there were node problems too. So, wallowy suspension and understeer. Immediate rollover. Oh dear. Being a communist country, we're also going to have to go. Okay, well, there is no traction here. What is going on? What are the tires on this? The tires are sports compound. So they are sports compound tires, but yet they feel like they have no traction whatsoever. Oh, it's scraping a lot. Why is it scraping? The vehicle is actually quite tall. Under braking, the front wing hits the ground. The front wing is also considerably bigger than the rear wing. So I'm concerned about high-speed stability, but I suppose we'll have to try it out. Causing the damn thing to oversteer chronically, but that was more recent, however. This was after moving nodes. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with that car, but something is wrong with that car. Okay, please don't understeer too much. Yeah, lots of understeer. This thing wallows horrifically. At slow speeds, though, it's not so bad. Okay, well, the traction control is overacting. Like, I was accelerating just then, and it was still decelerating. Ah, okay. Let's rewind a bit and try that again. I think we have to be very special. We have to be very special with this car because its handling characteristics are special. What is that crinkling sound? Ha! Not the greatest car. Okay, well, we lost the front wing, so we're gonna have to respawn to get that back. And then its off-road capabilities, which will also be quite important. Yeah, very crashy. Feel that this thing should have maybe more shock absorber. And understeer. What were we going, like 30 just then? And the thing understeered chronically? Or maybe it was going like more around 50. Even still. From 100, that's a lot of understeer. I get the feeling that the brakes are unbalanced. And then we got just chronic oversteer. Let's go ahead and just take the ABS off and everything. Welcome, Harry Glenn. How's it going? Don't know what it is that you've just tried to say just then. Me do words, I swear. Car engine. Electronic stability control. Turn that off entirely. Alright, let's try it again. Please. Be less garbage. Okay, slow down, slow down, slow down. Turn left. Okay, yeah, now. Brakes are incredibly unbalanced. Let's test them out. Yeah, the front brakes are way stronger than the rear brakes. Let's have a look at said brakes, though. Slow the camera down a little bit. And we have in the rear here, large 2-piston brakes. Should only probably be ones, but maybe the car is really heavy. Then onto the front, large 6-piston brakes. So no wonder the fronts are locking up way before the rears. And with the way that, unfortunately, the brakes, the ABS works in BeamNG from automation, if any wheel locks up, it reduces the brakes off of all of them. So, yeah, that's causing issues. Unfortunate. Car could have been good, but they did noob mistakes. And look at that understeer. Even at 30 after slowing down, the thing is already quite bad. So let's slow it down from there. That was about 90. Yeah, nah, brakes are horrific. Ah. Oh, like, yeah, you have to rely on the rear brakes, which are not set up for this. Also, the temperatures on the brakes are actually staying quite cool. I'm sorry, but I missed that wall. You made the decision I hit it, not me. I swear I missed it. Anyway, let's keep going until we cook the brakes, or maybe see if they've got brake cooling. Also, these are, like, very high-quality brakes. I'm not sure if they're carbon ceramics or not. Hard to tell. There is no ABS because I turned the ABS off. because the brakes were unbalanced and the brakes were just not working. Yeah, now this car is... Unfortunately, Crispy Shaman, you've made a bit of a pup. So, yeah, there's not much that can be done about this car. Suspension is too wallowy, but also not good for off-road. The brakes are terrible. The understeer is pretty darn chronic. See, like, we're understeering at 60 kilometers an hour, which is pretty bad. You shouldn't be understeering at 60 kilometers an hour. High speed, though, on the bowl, not so bad. And we don't lose control at all. So 150, yeah, it gets a little bit skittish at high speeds. The brakes are atrocious. Once again, a not particularly great car. The car looks good, but we've seen it before, so we're not getting anything new here. Just lots more understeer. You would see... Yes, I know, I removed it. Oh my god. Control W, automation, front engine, car assistant. Okay, traction control. Back on. Are you happy? It has traction control. And it has ABS. The ABS is overacting, so I had to remove it. Damn you, found the improved version of my car. The old one was better? I should have deleted it? Okay. Yeah, no. Welcome, Crispy Shaman. Yeah, unfortunately this car is... flawed. Let's just leave it at that. Brakes... Yeah, you need to pick up your brake game. But still, once again, the car is still a good-looking car. Still questionable choices like the leg room and stuff like that. The flat floor that you've got for the driver's seat is a little bit weird, and the fact that it has a... Let me turn off the indicators there. The windshield wipers on the front headlights, I still question that. I'm not sold on the idea. But yeah, 7 out of 10, because it still looks good. It still has a funky sort of thing to it, and it's got a really cool, like, narrative woven into its design. I like it, but yeah, no, flawed. Let's have a look at the next car. Next car is the Drift King, this potato-y looking one. Let's turn on clutch kickers. There we go. I spelled clutch wrong. Apparently they spelled clutch with a K. Sure. Clutch kickers 1.1. This is the drift car, I believe, by Ekai Min. So this is the Ekai Min Drift King. So they reckon this is the king of drift cars. So as we'll have to see, I'm assuming though that it'll overheat and cook itself really quickly if this was real. Because as we saw, there was no air intake on the cooling. Another drift car, but this time more extreme, has a lot of character and is a lot of fun to drive, apparently. Control E, bring it up. Okay. It looks like a potato. It's even worse than last time. I don't understand how. Let's have a look at Control W. Wait. Yeah. Is this the car? Anyway. Let's have a look. Control E. What is this car called? Yeah, it is the drift. Okay, so it is the right one. Control W. Yeah, there seems to be nothing here about, like, the car body. How is it worse than last time? What is happening here? They've clearly done some modifications and they've ruined it. You should have removed it since a long time ago, but I didn't understand why brakes are so bad now. Seems like they changed physics since the only thing 20 more horsepower. Weird compared to old one. Watch my video on Film 86 suspensions all over your face. The brake information there is a little bit dated, but it'll at least get you on the right track to how brakes actually work. Having 6 pistons on the front was a mistake. But anyway, yeah, so let's try out this car. Even if it is like completely jank up. Oh, that steering angle is extreme. Did we break anything just then? Ah! Okay, well, let's rewind a bit. Oh damn, that's an unfortunate. Echo worked hard on this quite a bit. Should I just stop reviewing it and then let him fix it and then do it like another time? Ah, this is hard to drive. This is really hard to drive. I'm I'm trying to put all my drifting skills to use, but this is not how I would make a drift car. Needs more caster. Oh, I flattened a tire somehow. Okay. Yeah, no, lots of understeer. Wheels break super duper easily. That steering angle is crazy. Is there any engine we could... No, there's no engine we could see. Ah! Okay, you know what? No, this car's too jank. Let's just make it silent so I don't have to listen to it. Maybe an update broke it. Very unfortunate. The updates didn't really change anything. Beam definitely changed physics. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Physics became more oversteery in the latest update. So this one has probably become worse to handle. So they probably need to re-go over their steery sort of drifty cars. If you have an oversteery drifty car, you may want to update it. Otherwise, it's going to oversteer and I'm going to say it's terrible. At this point, you may want to just put a link to that video on the Discord of every stream. Sure, okay. Oh no, the car became orange, but we still have the mirror. Yeah, mirror's still there, but somehow worse than last time. I don't understand. Since the old one tested, Phil had the exact same stuff and 20 more horsepower. Maybe the brakes were bad back then as well. I'm trying to make a drift car in automation, but I want to wait for the next automation update to finish it. Sure, I don't know why you need to wait for that, but okay. Let's have a look. Control E, next car. That one gets a 0 out of 10. It's just broken. Fast 1. Here we go. They got greedy and... okay. So this person linked 11 cars. They got greedy, so I picked one of them. And this is the one I picked. Don't do that. Because I will not show all 11 cars. If you have more than one car in a stream, you're gonna be lucky if I review any more than 2. 2 is generally my limit. But let's have a look at this, what looks to be a drag car. We're gonna go main menu, we're gonna do a time trial on this one. West Coast USA, drag strip, and let's bring out the fast one. This sucks. It's unfortunate. But it didn't really seem a whole lot different from the last one. So I'm confused as to why you reposted it. If there's only a little bit more power, is that really an improvement? Or just like a face... Not even a facelift, but like an engine rehash? Like an incremental change? Is it really a reviewable car then? I'm trying to make a drift car in automation. I read that one. By the way, how much power does this car make? I don't know. Did they change brakes at least in the last update? Does the brakes used be good on my old luxury bed? Sometimes there's issues with BeamNG cars, but no. If you exported the car with a certain number of brakes, then it's probably going to have that number of brakes. I don't know, man. Don't know what to tell you. Anyway, let's go ahead and test this unfinished car. Why is there a G-force meter there? That's weird. This is not a fast one! In fact, that was incredibly slow. This is a bad car, just in every way. So, one, the design is all whack, so they should have done cardinal lock-on for the superchargers. That is something I forgot to bring up earlier. The interior is a bit weird and peculiar. It's also a convertible like this. You wouldn't have a convertible drag car, especially not without a roll cage. The engine is super duper slow, even though the car is called a fast one. The design is just boring. Eco cars get faster time? Yeah, I know, right? Hold on, what was the time? Oh my god, it takes so long to back up. Very peaky on power. Oh, it doesn't show the readout anymore. Great. Thanks, BeamNG devs. Let's have a look at the engine. This was a V8, right? Yeah. So it's not a particularly small engine. A quad-cam V8 with twin turbos. How did they make it so slow? What have they done? Waiting for the next update, mostly important turbo revamp. Okay, sure. The 80 horsepower eco cars get faster times. This car did a quarter mile longer than Phil's intro to every car. It's the world's slowest noisemaker. It was very loud. It was 18 seconds? Oh dear God. I think my 1980s Volvo in real life would probably do an 18 second. All noise, no power? Yeah, a bit like a dog that has a dog that has all bark, no bite sort of thing. Maybe it's heavy? The weight is 1,500 kilos, so what, like 3,000 pounds? More like 3,500 pounds? Yeah, not that heavy. Not light, but not that heavy. Turbo lag? Even then. No, actually it wasn't. Like, the thing is creating 1.5 bar right out of the bat. 1.9 bar. That's a lot of pressure. That's, what, 14 PSI or something like that? I don't know, hold on. What's, 1.9 bar to PSI. 27 pounds of pressure. Yeah, no, that's not a good car. So this one gets like a 1 out of 10. Fails in so many areas. I can see that you tried, but this is a first attempt. As a first car? I don't know. I don't know how to rate this one. This one is actually just bad in every way. Control E. Let's have a look at the next car, which is, the Hosinachi 450 Po, which sounds like a very, McLaren sort of name. Okay. This one is by Nevro-Sky. It's a 2009 car and it cost $312,000. That's a lot of money. That's also in Australian dollars, I believe, because I think I had to do some sort of conversion there. Very well balanced sports coupe, ideal for cruising as well as track with long corners. So I'm assuming there's a quirk with a handling characteristic that they didn't get right. A rear-wheel car, Hyundai Accent with a 1.5 liter, did 20 seconds in the quarter mile. Oh dear. Turbo car, I had a Russian shitbox with 50 horsepower and it got 18 seconds. Oh my god, okay. It's a drag car with sun gravity. It didn't weigh that much. I think they just didn't know how to make a car. I don't know how they made such a big engine make such little power. It's so confusing. Maybe the thing was detonating all over the place and they just didn't know how to fix it. You know what they might have done? They might have taken... they might have just made the engine, gone, I want a V8. 4cam is lower down the list, so maybe that's what the one we'll go with. That's loud. At least you can hear it now. And then... I went, I want this to have turbo so it has lots of power, so they put turbos on. And didn't understand what the detonation warning was. So the thing came out with maybe like 5 horsepower or something. Friend? I don't know what you mean by friend. Anyway, so this car has, yes, this thing is going to oversteer, I think. So I remember we looked at this one. That was the wrong button. So yeah, as you can see, the front tires are quite wide compared to the rears. They're not like really narrow, which you would normally see on a car like this. We also have, what was it? McPherson struts, 4 piston brakes on the front, which is baffling. Then on the rear, we have, I believe, yep, McPherson strut again with a 2 piston. Yeah, so this shows a misunderstanding of how suspension and brakes work in BeamNG, or at least the how the brakes work. You want more on the rear generally. Then we got a big, naturally aspirated V12. Maybe it's a mid-1970s American V8 6-liter displacement, 120 horsepower. That car did not have 120 horsepower. It had like 5. You know what? Okay, let's bring it out. Control E. We'll have a look at the power readout. Spawn you. Control W. No, that's not the one I want. UI apps. Let's add on torque. And let's see how much power they're actually making. Well, now we can't see it. That's great. Let's put it into realistic. Okay, so it makes like 100 horsepower to 150 horsepower during the major part of the RPM. Then it does go up to 500 horsepower, but really super duper peaky. I don't know what they've done. I don't understand how it's so slow. It should not be this slow. UI apps, edit, delete. I hate this new setup. It's so irritating. Malaise error drag car. Okay, sure. Let's start this one up. Control T, and let's just give it a bit of a try. Feels peppy. I like it. It is very loud, though. Is it loud for you guys? It might actually be a bit too loud. Let me turn that down a bit. There we go. Is that too quiet now? Okay, the thing has a little bit of understeer at slow speeds, which is weird. It should actually have a lot of peppiness on the steering. There is some weird lag under braking. Steering is very weird. It's hard to explain. Like, it feels oversteery, but also understeery at the same time. I've never felt that before. Then steering feels relatively sharp. Okay, good. Let's bring it around here. I'm going to test out a bit of its high speed, and it gets a little bit skittish. But then somehow manages to understeer again. Very odd. Very, very odd. Let's slow it down for the corkscrew. Brakes are atrocious. I'm assuming the brakes are unbalanced, like I said. They watched like Top Gear where they said, this thing's got 6-piston brakes. And they thought, well, I want 6 pistons on my car. But yeah, no, it just ruined the car. Because they don't understand how brake balance works when it comes out of automation and ABS workings. Okay. There seems to be some sort of like, it feels like the thing doesn't have proper power delivery. Okay, brakes aren't so bad. They're not the best, but they're not terrible. I know also that this person wrote like a big write-up on this car as well as to like the technical details of this car. So thank you for that. But all I really particularly want is a year and a price number so I can get some sort of gauging idea on it. Understeer and power understeer as well. So you try to power out of a corner and it just washes wide. I think that's what it is. So the steering is not bad, but if you try to put power at all, the thing starts to understeer, which is not great. And I think that might be part to do with the weight distribution that we got going on here as well. What was the driveline on this? Just rear-wheel drive as well. So for just a rear-wheel drive for a beginner creating a car, this is actually not too bad. Or I shouldn't say beginner, but like somebody with less than 100 hours. This is pretty decent. But it gets a little bit skittish at higher speeds, but not the worst. Not as bad as what I was expecting. Understeer. Yeah. I don't know. I can't tell whether I like the suspension or not. If this was just a normal, like, run-around car, this wouldn't be so bad. You just want to tune out a little bit of that, like, skittish oversteer that you get. But yeah, like, it could be quite usable. Fiat Multiple can get faster times than that. I don't know much about Fiat because they're not a very big company over here, but I think I know the Multipla. That was the weird family car, right? So yeah, the car's not so bad. Considerably better than what I thought. The brakes are getting quite toasty. I wonder if they will cook. Let's take it down the back straight here and see if they will start to cook eventually. Or if the ABS kicks in so much that the brakes don't actually do a whole lot. Okay, the brakes do get hot, but there is brake cooling. So it is actually cooling the brakes down a bit, because now they're right back down to 250. Yeah, I don't think that you're going to cook these brakes. But if you were doing an actual race, these brakes would get heat fatigue, which is what happens when you like get brakes that heat up too much because there's not a whole lot of mass to it, and then cool off on a straight. That was a problem with old GT... Sorry, not GT cars. The old Le Mans race cars, which is why in what was it called? Ford vs Ferrari? Is that what the movie is called? Maybe I'm just misremembering the name, but I think that's what it's called. They did like the brake change where they changed the rotor and everything. That's because the constant heating up and the cooling down was causing it. Would cause them to fail and break and shatter, and that was really dangerous. So they had two choices: kind of work around the rules like they did, or make the decision to make the brakes less efficient, or effective, I should say. And they went with kind of a cheat to the spirit of the rules. Yeah, right. So the car's okay. Looks like a turbo. Looks like the turbos took 5 years to spin up. Oh, you're still talking about the last car. Okay. Yeah, so I like the car, but it's not spectacular. I give it, like, as a beginner car, we'll classify that because this doesn't stand up with, like, the more complex cars. Like a 6.5? You're getting there. But there are places to improve. Really improve. Let's also show the brake bias without ABS. You know, let's just hit home. Nope, there we go. Okay, cool. We're going to take this, we're going to spin it around, and we're going to do a brake test, and you're going to see that the fronts will probably lock up way before the rears. So about 100 kilometers an hour or something like that, and then brake. Yeah, see, as you can see, the fronts lock up, but the rears don't really. Let's try that again. They don't seem terribly unbalanced, but they are unbalanced and too powerful. Welcome, Chen, to the stream. How's it going? Let's move on to the next car. Control E. We have the KBM Buddy XI. KBM Buddy XI? Here we go. This is by Yugo Dealer, because front-wheel drive hot hatchback. I believe Yugos were American or, like, brought in from another country that was communist, right? I think? So let's take it to a, that other map again. We'll just go right back there. Where is it? Industrial Site. And we'll start in the port, because this thing looks like it's meant to be a hot hatch with its particularly wide tires. Anytime unloading, just save it in RAM. It's fine. I don't care. I've got 32 gigs of it. Alright, KBM Buddy. So thank you, Yugo Dealer, for submitting this car. As you see, though, this thing has very thick front and rear tires, wide tires. And also not, what would you call it? Cheap. Because they're not cross-splice. And they're also a sports compound. Nope, because front-wheel drive hot hatchback. So this is a very expensive car for the day. Yugos were from Yugoslavia. The original company was called Zatava. Yeah, didn't it also use, like, Italian parts or something like that? I think it used Fiat or something? Or was it French? I can't remember. Okay, so the road is really bumpy around here, unfortunately. Bumpier than what I remember as well. Not getting a whole lot of, like, usefulness out of this road. The gear ratio is really long. Okay. The game doesn't know which gear to be in. Okay, there's lockups ahoy. And there's also a diff lock. Front diff lock. Okay. Odd choice. Whoops. We get massive understeer and massive power understeer. Not a whole lot of torque steer, though. This is not a good car. This is really bad. It doesn't handle nicely. It also gets a lot of wheel spin. So, you do sometimes just want to create more power for your car. But you still have to make sure that the car is able to handle it. And this car, with these tires, just can't handle it. And it's just a surprise, because it's got radials, a sports compound, and not particularly narrow, but you can see there, like 50 kilometers an hour, we're understeering. So, maybe you could have fixed that. And the lockups, ahoy, are not great. Fiat parts. Ah, okay, good. So it was Italian. Welcome, Onion Man. How's it going? Did Dustvia also make firearms? I wouldn't know. Let's see if having the front diff locks help. So, get power down a little bit more. But no, now we have chronic understeer. So if nobody knows this, diff locks cause understeer. If you wonder why then, what would you call it? Drift cars have diff locks. It's because it makes the oversteer more controllable and allows you to hold it out for longer. But you still have to overcome the understeer caused by it. This is just not a good car. Okay, let's just give it a score. It's not fun to drive. It's not realistic. But at least it kind of looks cool. Except the interior is very wrong. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to give it like... I don't know, but I do like the look of it. Like, they've got little details. As you can see here, they got two sorts of grills here, which look pretty cool. They've got extra little vents down here. They've got lots of little details on the outside. The outside is pretty good. I'm sometimes sold on the lights. I do like them, but then when I look at this gap here, this triangle, it just looks a little bit weird. But, I don't know. 5.5 out of 10? Because I do really like the look of this car. Though that might mostly be the body. I just can't give it more than that. There's too many flaws with this car. They did make firearms. Well, I'm pretty sure they still do. Pretty sure that front-wheel drive car is LSD, not locker diffs. That is a front locker diff. See, I can turn it on and off? That means it's a locker. And also with that, like a locking up of the diff is why you don't particularly want an LSD in a front-wheel drive car. It can cause issues. The Volkswagen Audi group actually got around it by using an electronic LSD, which does a pretty good job of torque vectoring. And they're probably the only good front LSD sort of setup that you would want to have. Honestly, other than that, they're fixing a problem you shouldn't have, which is too much power in a front-wheel drive car. If you want lots of power, don't have a front-wheel drive car, or have a very expensive electronic LSD. Anyway, let's move on to the next car. See what we got next. Which is, the SUV, the Orion. So, I'm guessing we'll take that one... Where do we take that? So, it's very American. Maybe East Coast, and then we'll try doing a little bit of off-roading. I think that works. So, we'll take it to the town industrial area. In 80s, front-wheel drive cars generally had open differentials. Yes! LSDs weren't usually... My brain isn't working. LSDs weren't used until the late 90s, early 2000s. LSD really kind of kicked off in the 80s, and that's how you got so many weird and funky TV shows. Oh wait, you're talking about limited slip differentials, not the other LSD. Okay then, I thought you were talking about acid there for a second, Broken Osa. I'm just messing with you. So, is this your car? The Orion P24? Let's have a look. Yes, by Broken Ursa. Boring ordinary subcompact crossover SUV inspired by the Jeep Renegade. At least this trim has all-wheel drive. So it is meant to be a crossover, but also a subcompact SUV? It doesn't look subcompact to me. Actually, you know what? Hold on. How big is this? Let's spawn another car that I know the size of. Something like this. The Gavril D series. Spawn new. It is small. I didn't realize how small it was. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's much smaller. No wonder there's no leg room in the rear. They can't fit their legs in there. Then, yeah, so we got ample front room. You probably could have moved the front seats forwards or maybe brought the dash outwards. If you notice on a lot of cars, the dash actually comes out to about here. Let's have a look at, Ford Territory open door. Okay, that's a bit of a small picture. Open image in new window. You see here that the dash actually comes quite a bit into the cockpit area. I know that you were just trying to hide dash gap, but the dash should be a lot further forwards, probably up to about here. Not stopping at about here. I mean, that's LSDs for front and drive. Yeah, I know, I was being a bit of a smartass. How hard will build a rear-wheel drive drag car and do 0 to 400 in under 7 seconds in automation? I don't know, man. That seems like a very tall order. I've not really tried to test that. Is that 400 kilometers or miles per hour? Miles per hour, that would be impossible. It just wouldn't happen. Even the EPC3 Honda Civic Type R still has an open differential, if I remember. Okay, sure. I mean, the idea of locking diff for front-wheel drive is good because some people actually weld their differentials for circuit racing when the car is front-wheel drive for some reason. Yeah, because you will get a lot of one-wheel peel out of corners, but you will then have to compensate your steering and suspension and wheel setup, so then you'll get a little bit more oversteer. Otherwise, if you just chuck a locker in a front-wheel drive car, it'll understeer chronically. And you don't want that. So, if you want to know what it is that causes the understeer problem with a differential that's locked, is when you're going around a corner, your wheels are going to want to turn at different speeds. So what'll happen is when you got a lock differential, it's going to resist turning because one of them is going to want to skip a little bit or put more torsion traction down, which is also why they're less fuel efficient. And the other thing is the outside tire on the corner, so you're turning that way. You're going to turn that way, putting a lot of pressure on that one, leaving a lot of pressure being put on this car. A lot of torsion on this wheel to want to go the same speed as that one, not the other way around, meaning that the inside tire will want to push the car forwards. So you end up with a problem there, don't you? So that's why you generally don't have lockers on normal cars. They're just not great or safe, really. Anyway, let's go try this one out. Oh, traction control. And very wallowy. Oh my god. Did you see that? Oh, I'm getting lots of lag right now on the UI. Look at that wallowiness. Oh my god. That thing wallows way too much. What about cornering? Hey, let's bring it down here. Okay, the side-to-side wallow is not so bad. But this would be an uncomfortable amount of jelliness on the suspension when you get it onto the road. Welcome, Seidel Malinda. How's it going? Wait, are you trying to advertise? Can somebody tell me if they're trying to advertise that they are, or block them? Sponge suspension is pretty bad. I remember this car being a lot stiffer. Maybe the BeamNG update? I'm not sure. But that is very wallowy. My man is twerking, lol. Oh, the car is twerking, at least. Twerk SUV? Yeah, a little bit. Hold on. Let's get into a good camera position. There we go. Get that twerk on, bro, with that independent rear suspension. You can see those cheeks move. Welcome, Mushroom32. How's it going? Chevrolet has some great videos from 1937 explaining how differentials and other... Yes, I think I actually have seen that myself on YouTube. Looks like a bot to me. All right, let's go ahead and hide user, and I'm assuming that means on this channel. Good, done. Okay. And now there's a thing popping up, which is blocking chat. Great, YouTube, well thought out. I mean, quarter mile not speed? What? Hold on, what are we talking about? I don't know what it is you were trying to say. What do you mean quarter mile? I'm confuzzled. Anyway, let's try a little bit of more handling stuff. So, like 90, 80... Oh, lag spike understeer. Lag spike into understeer. That's very unpleasant. Let's try, like, low speed. Like, we're going about 50 and then turn... little bit of understeer, then turn here. Okay, let's try a little bit more high speed now. Handbrakies are fun, though a little bit like ruined by the squishy suspension. Oh, the faster we go, the more understeer there is, unfortunately. Let's try... I want to get up to 90, but it's so slow. I at least want to go over 80, so 90 would be a good number. This is not a fast car. It's also not turbo. Oh, okay, that's weird. You would normally usually have a turbo on a car like this. Washout understeer. Ooh, that's unfortunate, especially with considering how BeamNG made cars a lot more oversteery. This thing to understeer as it is, this thing would be atrocious. 0 to 400? Oh, you mean the 400 meter thing. Oh, okay then. Welcome, Chris Games. How's it going? So, yeah, not particularly great on-road. Let's try off-road. I'm assuming that this being a all-wheel drive version of the car, it's meant to go off-road at least in some capacity. Whoops! Lack of traction. Let's have a look at the tires. So, what is it? Shift page up? Yeah, good. We have hard, long life tires. So this is going to be okay off-road, but not spectacular. Some stiffer springs would do wonders for this car. Yeah, I think so as well. This car is so bouncy, the people in the car are not getting out in one piece. Oh, you reckon they're just going to clobber their head? I don't know if that's quite how it works, but it is going to be problematic. See, it doesn't have like a long frequency. As in like... Oh, you know what? No, it does bounce for quite a while. Yeah, it's just too soft. I'd imagine the US is due to bad suspension settings. I'd imagine the US... I don't know what you mean. This reminds me of something between a Volkswagen and a Urus. I wouldn't say it's like an Urus at all. Not in any way. The Chrysler Tiger Shark replica engine is not powerful. And it's a bit chunky for an i4. I have no idea what it is that you're trying to say right now. My brain does not comprehend that. Context would help. It's okay to add context to your comments, by the way. Oh dear. So, yeah, unfortunately, not a spectacular car. Automation needs to do the update ASAP, so then we can like start getting some fresh cars with the new BeamNG physics. As for the style, I think it's okay. The rear seats are too small, in my opinion. The styling, actually, you know what? I do really like the styling. Let's just refresh it quickly. Yeah. I don't know. Some questionable choices like the minuscule rear brakes. They didn't overheat though, so that's fine for road use. The suspension is terrible, so it's not fun to drive. The realism is okay. You wouldn't normally have a naturally aspirated car like this. It'd usually be, because it's got independent throttles. You would probably see on a car like this being quite modern. Probably a turbocharger and a much smaller engine. And, yeah, I don't know. I also don't know what the price is. So I don't know how to judge it on realism there. The fun of driving, not there at all. But the styling looks pretty good, and that does make me feel happy to drive it. So I'm not going to hurt it too much. Like a 6.5, maybe a 7 out of 10? It's good, but there's a long way to go. Like, the styling is pretty good. Yeah, okay, Oliver agrees. The styling does look pretty good. It is still quite two-dimensional, but then again, a lot of these cars are just two-dimensional cars. You have put a lot of effort in here, and I see it, and I appreciate it. Like, there's one little detail here that I spotted that I didn't really tell anybody. This is something that I do myself sometimes. You see here that we've got lining around the taillights, and then, like, it actually... Oh, no, it doesn't cut in. Oh. Oh, the taillights are actually three-dimensional. The taillights come out on their own. Oh, that is a cool detail. Well done. That's better than what I thought it was. Usually what I'll do is along the boot line, I'll add like a, an indentation, which will then make the lights look like they pop a little bit like this. But no, you've actually done some really good work here. I don't know how you've done it as well. Like, you've got like perfect curves around here. You got some fixtures I don't have. And I want them. But yeah, no, that's actually pretty good then. I do like it. You've also done a lot of effort on the interior, especially the roof lining. Very well done. Let's compromise. 6.9 out of 10. Alright, 6.9 out of 10. Because when you see the car a-rockin', don't come a-knockin'. Except I'd be coming on knockers? Wait, no, hold on. I'm joking. Underage kids, don't ask what that means. I think the price was about $25,000, $28K. I don't remember exactly. For $25,000, you're going to want probably a small turbocharged engine. I like the styling as well, but I don't know why it looks sporty for what it's made for. Yeah, it does look a little bit sportier than what it deserves to look, but I'm not going to, like, downplay it just on that. I think the car looks nice. I like it. Ruffle? Yes. I don't know why you had to tag me in my own chat. I mean, I see the comments. But yeah, let's move on to the next car. Ah, okay. We have a British car. We'll take it to Italy, since you could get to Italy quite easily from England. There is no England map. That's small island. Whoops, my bad. Italy. And we'll take it to Crossroads. Phil's libido start increasing by 5? Oh, stat increasing by 5? Sorry. Okay. But I do love sports-looking cars. Yes, I agree. And I don't mind if a car looks sportier than what it actually is. They look better. Though it is a bit cheaty. Like, you're cheating the higher-end cars out of their, like, market by cheapening the whole experience. I don't know. I still like it. I've never really felt too much, but I just thought I should put in some sort of counter-argument there. So, second to last car. The Starling God Sparrow. So, apparently, this car is a V8 swapped last final hurrah for this car. Where is it? What? Oh, okay. Sorry. They also had the interior on the file name. Okay, so this is my Fanny Faxbear. This is a 1970s car. It costs $29,800 in today's money, so you'd expect a lot from it. Declining sales from the Goldcrest came. Sorry. It had bad sales, whatever. Starling needed a new car by slapping in the biggest V8 they could into a small British roadster. There was more to the comment, but the comment was way too long, so I just took some things out of it. So the story is the car was losing sales, and they were going to make a new one, but I think as a stopgap, they got this one, and they just stuck a V8 in it. So let's have a look. They should add a UK map where it's always overcast and you can't turn the rain off. That would be fun. There is rain mods, isn't there? I think. So 1970s, they should only have, like, probably simple front brakes. We got double wishbone, 2-piston front brakes, so that's unrealistic. Also, the brakes are quite small, so that's also not great. But they probably had to do small to make the brakes not lock up all the time. We have just a regular old, naturally aspirated, short cast, push rod V8, 4-carb, dual 4-barrel carbs. Independent rear suspension, so unlikely, but okay. We have double wishbone as well in the rear with a single piston. Probably would have had drum brakes in the rear, I don't know. We shall see. It's British, yeah. So let's take it for a bit of a drive. Oh, looks like we have a very long first gear. They saw the thing said, oh, we have lots of wheel spin, so let's make a long first gear. Oh my god, why? Why every single time somebody makes an old car, they're like, oh, we have to put really long gears in it? Why? Who is this? This is by Fanny Faxbear. Come on, Fanny Faxbear, you know better than that. We have to clutch jump to get any sort of speed out of this thing. Okay. A little bit hard to control. I wonder if this thing has cross plies. It does have a fairly square-looking bit of rubber on there. First gear goes all the way up to 100 kilometers an hour. Let's put it into manual control and see what we actually reach properly. 110 kilometers an hour in first gear. My god. Why? This reminds me of Nissan Fairlady. Yes, it does. From the front, very much so. Then the rear looks like a little bit like a Lancia Stratos. Yeah, so there's a lot of odd choices in here. Once again, the dash is probably a little bit too far forward. But cool interior. Did they also de-shine the interior? They did. They de-shined the interior, so they put a lot of effort into this car. They should have known that you don't have 110 kilometer an hour first gear unless you got like a 2-speed car. Like, come on, Fanny, you know better than that. They also should have had, yeah, the dash should be further back. I do like it though. It looks fairly good. We don't have any actual air on this thing, do we? They've not hidden any wings? No, good. Then on the front, no hidden wings. I see no cheats. Okay, good. So there is no error on this car. It gets the amount of lift that you would expect this car to get. How many gears does it have? It should only have 4 at most. Let's check it out. 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. It only has 4 gears. Long gears because wheel spin? Yeah, I know. But it has no wheel spin. You don't want no wheel spin on a car. Pretty much every road car today can get a little bit of wheel spin if you try hard enough. But this is going overboard. This is just like way too long of gears. It's going to really hurt its acceleration. So we got a little bit of like top end oversteer, which is not fantastic. Good. Okay. Good. Oh, please. Okay, good. Okay. Handling it much better now. Oh, getting a little bit of skittish oversteer at high speeds. So much like a lot of the cars of the time that handle fine at lower speeds, get really skittish at higher speeds, which is quite normal. It took until about the 80s when companies like Volvo showed that you could actually create good cars with narrow tires. I remember taking, now don't tell the police about this, when I was younger, my old 1983 Volvo 244 up to 190 kilometers an hour, and the thing was fairly stable. Like, it was very bouncy, yes, the roads were not smooth enough for that speed, but it still didn't want to oversteer like this did at, what, like 10 kilometers an hour? Top speed? Oh, I'm scared to know. There's a Triumph Spitfire vibe? Yeah, a little bit. I do see that with the rear window glass. Yeah, I get that. I've spun wheels in my dad's car's old 2006 Honda Accord, and I've even spun the wheels in my all-wheel drive Impreza. Okay, yeah, so all-wheel drive cars will spin less. Considerably less. But yeah, no, you can still spin them if you try hard enough. I should have mentioned two-wheel drive cars. There are some all-wheel drive cars where you just won't get any wheel spin. But they're generally more automatics. Oops. Is there a way to actually fill up gas stations yet? I thought I saw that a long time ago. No? What if we go F? Go into walk-around mode. Can we jump over this? No, okay, let's go around the other way then. Let's run. Okay, a little too much momentum, unfortunately. But if nobody knows, what's usually meant to be a snowman, which is your walk-around character, is actually a unicycle, which is why it carries the weird weight around with it. I don't think there's any way for us to control the to add fuel at the fuel station. This car should have 100 horsepower, less of a red line of 4. Yeah, you're right. It should have considerably less RPM, especially as a pushrod car. So realism factor is quite low. The gas station thing is only in scenarios? Ah, okay then. They should add it in free roam? Yeah, they probably should. But that would still be down on my list of things I want from them. I know, this car is okay to drive. Let's take it to a more darty sort of area. You know what? Yeah, we'll take it to this city for once. I don't usually drive around here very often. There we go. And there we go. Has that helped with steering? Probably not. Let's take it for a drive. Oh my god. So yeah, the slow speed steering and handling and whatnot of this car is not going to be particularly great with its incredibly long gears. The braking is very scary. It wants to lock up the rears way too easily compared to the fronts, I think. And then the cornering speeds, like, you have to lift. You just have to. The thing gets too skittish, and then it gets up to, like, high speeds really quickly. The low-speed turn-in is not great. The handling is not terrible, though. The slowing down for corners is just not fantastic. So, Fernie Faxbear has made a fairly decent-looking car. It looks a little too generic Nissan 240Z. Even with the rear, like, they look like two different cars. I like it, but it could be better, especially with the brakes and the handling. Probably a little bit more understeer on these sorts of cars. And crossflies, probably. No, maybe not crossflies. No, probably crossflies. Sandy by friend DM. What? I don't know what it is that you're trying to say there. That didn't make English. Oh, I didn't know that there was a harbor down here. Interesting. They don't look great, I'll admit. They look pretty shit, actually. Like, this car looks better than that. But anyway, yeah, let's go on to giving it a score. Its realism is quite low. Like, it's pretty horrific. Its fun-to-driveness score is pretty low. But its styling and the way it just makes me feel, the certain je ne sais quoi kind of score, puts it a bit higher. And also, they have put a lot of effort into the interior, and I do appreciate that, even if it's not 100%. Somewhere around like a... And I also do like the idea of just like whacking a V8 and this sort of thing. That's kind of what they did with MG. The old MGBs from that sort of time period, they kept trying to add a V8 to it for the longest time. And then they stopped making the MGB, but then in the 90s, they came out with like a short revival of the car, and they stuck a V8 in it. So that was kind of cool. But this car... 6 out of 10. It looks good. I do enjoy it. Especially the rear end looks really nice. I do like it. But it's just not fun to drive. Especially with that really long gearing. Maybe less power, less RPM as well. Why say English? What? You tried to add me as a friend? Oh, I don't usually accept friend requests on Discord. It just adds more clutter to my list of things. I think add remains. I sent my friend request by private message. Sure, okay. This thing should have a single overhead cam 4.2 liter i6. This is meant to be the final version of this car, which they stuck a V8 into it because of declining sales. So that I don't have a problem with. That is entirely fine by me. This thing, okay, cool. Welcome, Pop Dance YouTube. I don't think I've ever seen you around here, so welcome to the streams. Hi, what's up? Just testing out a few cars. All right, I'm gonna go on to the next car. And this is the last one, and we're gonna leave it here on the Italia map and try going off-road so you can hear the engine. This thing understeers like crazy, and I also whacked off a tire super easily, which is not really what you want. Okay, there we go. Some weird gearbox issue, okay. They also have, like, stationary wheel covers, and you can see that the wheel covers are locked in place by bits of metal. So that's kind of cool that they use that as an excuse as to why the thing doesn't have rotating wheel covers, which is fine. No, I won't. Looking forward to this one, but Oliver, okay. This is meant to be an electric off-road car. It seems to have a lot of traction. I also see that it has trunky off-road tires. Funny sounds? Yes, very funny sounds. It sounds like a digital cat purring. Like the sort of thing you might expect from a 1980s Nintendo game. The handling is atrocious. It understeers chronically. But the torque delivery is pretty good, so that's not so bad. Suspension is too bouncy, not enough dampener. Oh, it is struggling quite bad. Let's go ahead and turn on some diff locks. That's the wrong one. And that has not helped my ability to go uphill. But then again, this is like an incredibly steep bit of hill here. Can Can we just turn left, please, and go forward? Stop skidding sideways. God damn it. There we go. Now it's going. Let's go ahead and turn that center diff on as well, then. Sounds like a frog? Yeah, it does sound a little bit like a frog croaking. Oh, you know what? That has helped us. Our ability to keep the tires touching the ground is not great, though. And that will be a problem with your suspension setup. You want to have a softer spring sort of thing, so then the tires will stay touching the ground. Slightly softer sway bars as well. Maybe this area is a little too hardcore-y sort of off-road. As in, like, just too steep. Let's try Hirochi's off-road section. See if that gives us a little bit more of a fun area. So this one is the Tractor Mark II, or the Tractor Mark II by Broken Ursa. I've been enjoying my off-road scaffold boys, so I made an electric one. Cool. I think they said something about like not being able to make a proper electric one, so they just kind of did like a basic sort of thing, which is fine. You don't have to do the hardcore electric EV swap that I did. If people see that, you don't need to do that. I kind of hinted towards doing other ones that is possible for people. I was already subscribed to your channel, but I didn't have much time to watch your stream. Oh, okay then, cool. Thanks. And welcome then. Let's try it out here, see what we can do. So, the suspension does seem a little too stiff, a little too bouncy. Very bouncy. Way too bouncy. Oh my god. Less spring, more shock. Absorber. Please accept? No. Oh, wait. What a weird sound. That's a very weird sound. Oh my god. Please, move. Ah! Please. Please move. Okay, good. So, it's actually not terrible as a rock crawler. Though we've gotten stuck. Can we get out of this? Yes, we can. There's some driveline issues here. It's got engine stalling problems. Okay, let's turn on the diff lock, see if that helps us out. No, that's not working. Please, just go. Just go, full pour it. There we go. Okay, under full power, the thing gets a little bit more traction. Now I want to hear the engine startup sound. You already heard it, did you not? I don't know how to stall it. Because the thing idles at 0 RPM. So it shouldn't stall. Pipe section? Oh, pretty good. These tires have a lot of traction and we've gone over. Oh, no, we saved it. It's good. We can go. Okay, yeah, now this car is just weird, wacky, and janky. I'm not a fan of the suspension. You know what, actually, hold on, I can just start the engine off. Yeah, it goes... It's very weird. It's also very quiet. I think Beam Update did somehow something to my suspension, I don't know. It's way too springy. I think it needs some tool suspension. Yeah, tool suspension maybe. But just better working suspension. It's way too bouncy. Oh my god. Like those wheels are getting some real jiggle on. Ghost Cat sound? A little bit. Like Ghost Cat from NES game in the 80s sort of sound. Yeah, so I do like it. I just think that it needs to be more refined. One, fix that driveline issue there. Like, this kink in the driveline... Let me just zoom in on that. That is not how a driveline should look. Like, that would just bind and not work. Unless these had, like, gears on them and they weren't uni joints or CV joints. That's just no good there. Probably just have them in line. You don't need such a long drive shaft, so you could have had this motor, like... Hold on, let me move around. Had it just all the way up here. Could have even had it attached to the suspension. It doesn't really matter. And same with this thing. You probably could have just bolted it directly to the suspension itself. Because the core of the suspension doesn't move. This is independent suspension. that stays stationary. So it'd be bolted here as opposed to onto the suspension undercarriage cradle sort of thing. There's no need to have that separate because they all get the same vibrations. Maybe just a little bit more fine vibrations, but that doesn't really matter because it's only got the one moving part. I can actually hear it idling though still. My Carbike Colt Okami. Trailer out now. Whoops, wrong button. I forgot that the Zoomy does that thing. I hate that so much. So yeah, that is the final car for today. Let's just zoom in on that. It does look kind of cool. I do like it. You could have also fixed the shiny interior, but I get it. That is time-consuming and problematic. You could have also made this suspension actually act like real suspension. That would have been cool. But I get it. That's also way too much busy work. So, is that the last car? I believe that is. Alt-U, Control-E. Yes, it is. Okay, we're gonna bring up the special ending in a minute. I was thinking of putting the motors where the ICE was in automation when I built this. I wasn't thinking about realism. Okay, fair enough. Give me a second. Yeah, I'm gonna need to take like a long rest after this one. I am actually feeling quite under the weather now. But I hope everyone has enjoyed today's stream. It's a little bit of a more down energy one. I think that's mostly due to my cold that I'm coming down with. At least test my SUV. Your SUV wasn't in the list today. If you read the description down below, it explains that there's a long backlog. But don't worry, I don't skip cars until the automation update, and then I only skip cars that are submitted as .cars and not whatchamacallits. A lot of my family has a cold. Yeah, I think I'm coming down with a cold. Last accept, please? No. But yeah, thank you everyone for coming by. That is you, Adra, even though you keep bugging me for something that I keep saying no to. Chris Games, thank you for coming by. Gasket Case, thank you for coming by for the longest time. Broken Ursa, thank you for your 2 cars today and for coming by. This is a cool car, even if not really polished. Pod Dance, thank you. Onion Man, thank you. I think I've said it to Oliver already. If I haven't said it to Oliver, I'll say it to you, Oliver, twice. Thank you for coming by. Chris Games, a lot of... Oh, maybe I said that one already. I do, it's awful. Oh dear, okay. Who else we got here? Lonnie, thank you for coming by. Lonnie, that's reminding me of the beginning of Shrek. Where like, he comes out of the toilet like, oh, Lonnie! That's what that reminds me of. Who else? Flame Z, thank you for coming by and the cars that you submitted today. I think that's pretty much it. A lot of grey pictures there, so it's really hard to distinguish who's who. I don't usually look at names, I look at the pictures and then differentiate between that, which is why a lot of the time I get people confused. Because I'm not much of a letters-orientated memory sort of person. I'm very much a visual memory sort of person. But yeah, so for now, enjoy the outro.
No.
I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry.
No, it'll be okay. Stay with us. It'll be okay.
I have to go away.
No, don't do it. Please, don't go.
I must go away.
Viewers.
No! No, wait. Wait, you don't have to do this.
Sorry.
No, don't do it. Don't go.
It has to end here.
I order you not to go. I order you not to go. I order you not to go.
I know now why you cry. But it's something I can never do. Goodbye.